It's all going down in 5 minutes.
Back to sleep.
The games begin.
I couldn't sleep.
She ran a line, which is a really good idea. If I do go into anaphylactic shock, thank God, because she had so much trouble getting the IV in. It's already set. And
Also, there's nothing going into you now?
just fluids. It's just the line is in case in case the shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was hell. It was absolute hell. It was hell.
Absolute.
It was
Absolute hell.
absolute hell. There were so many things that just didn't seem right. Anaphylactic shock. Many times, and I know how that was handled, and I know how I felt. I've never felt this way. But I've never been given chemo before. I've never been given an experimental chemo that no one has ever heard of before. That isn't even on the market. I don't know why protocol was not followed. I don't know why the pharmacist was not aware of who I was, nor anything about me prior to me taking that medication. I'm just sitting here quickly putting together a little montage of all of the video blogs that I've done since I had that experimental chemo experience, Midostaurin.
Just to document another episode of gastro disaster.
I said it was very negligent and it was horrible and the vibe was terrible, but I never actually went into details. And there's some few things that I think I should probably say. I met with my doctor and we had a little meeting, and I've been complaining about this acute chest pain that I've been having. And for some reason, he constantly would say,
No, it's not your heart.
How do you know that?
No, it's probably indigestion. It's not your heart. It's not your heart.
He's like, okay, well, see you later. You're not coming to the shindig?
No. You'll be fine.
Blah, blah, blah. You don't understand what you're doing, do you?
This is a piece of cake, Leslie. You worry too much.
Really? So I get to the treatment room and I meet my nurse. And the first thing I say, okay, so you're all briefed on this, right? She's like,
Yeah. I'm just gonna give you the medication. I was just told to take some notes and everything should be fine.
What? Back up. Nobody told you about how severely I shock out to things and that's why we're doing it in the hospital? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like,
What? No one has told me anything. No,
So she calls a pharmacist. What do you mean you've never heard of Leslie? We're waiting for you to bring the medication. You have no record of her whatsoever. Okay, that sounds great. So, it was like it was timed. The last pill went down my throat, and this woman comes in with a notepad and a pen. Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm a pharmacist. I need to ask you a bunch of questions. A little late now, no? And I'm halfway through my allergies, because, there's 900 of them. And I just looked at her and I went, I don't know what? And then I just went,
Uh-oh.
and I just looked around the room and my eyes just went like, oh no, oh God. And I can't even tell you what was happening because it wasn't anaphylaxis. My brain was shutting down. I don't know what's happening. Something isn't right. Something's not right. I don't know. And I kept thinking, I'm dying. This has got to stop. Like, something is not okay. I said, get the doctor. Get the doctor right now. Get the doctor. She calls him. He doesn't go. And then the anaphylaxis starts. On top of this weird, buggy, thing happening in my head, I start, my heart rate shoots up really,
Really fast. From 85 to, I think it went to 150, and then it went up to 170.
And this is what I will never forget. At this point, the really serious neurological symptoms had started. I could speak, and I was trying to tell him that. I was trying to tell him that something was wrong in my head, and he was just,
Everything's fine. Yes, calm down. You're just nervous.
smiling and laughing. I'm in full-blown anaphylactic shock, and I'm convulsing and shaking, and my eyes are doing this. And it's the weirdest thing. I kept thinking, Joseph. Mengele. I felt like I was in a weird experimental thing, and there he was laughing. You motherfucker. This is funny to you. This is not funny. And I felt like I should have had a CAT scan right there and get my brain checked, because I was sure that my brain was frying.
Oh, you're so dramatic. You're fine. I'll see you later.
He bolts. As God is my witness, I cannot tell you what my body was doing. Vomiting doesn't quite do it justice, because I was being turned inside out. The first time in my life I ever felt my airway close completely. I went, epinephrine, and my mother said, call the doctor. I can hear her. He's not answering his phone. And then I hear her. Oh, hi, yeah. You have to come. Blah, 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 blah. Click. He hung up on me, and we were assuming that he hung up because he was running over. But no, he just hung up. I'm telling her I need prednisone.
I can't do anything. I don't have authorization to give you anything. I've given you the Benadryl. I've given you the epinephrine. I can't give you anything else.
Get the doctor.
So he didn't come. This other woman came, a resident. And this was probably at the pinnacle height of insanity when she showed up. And she just stood there. And the nurse is like, can I give her this? Can I give her that? Da, 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 da. And she's like,
I don't know.
And she's like, and she comes over to me and she's trying to take my pulse, and my body is just all over the place. And I'm looking at her in her eyes, and I'm going, get in my head. And she just was like,
I don't know.
And she goes running to a computer.
Anaphylactic shock. What do I do?
And my mother was saying, get the doctor, like now, and she needs help, she's dying. And I hear the nurse on the phone saying, I have a code blue. Please, someone come and help me. Please, I have a code blue. And I'm thinking, thank God. The cavalry's coming. They're coming, they're all gonna come, and everything's gonna be okay. And I'm waiting.
Damn, we're all waiting.
Nobody showed up for a code blue. Now, have you ever been in a hospital? We have a code blue, blah, blah, blah. People are running. Nope, not that day. Nobody came. Now, you talked to me into this medication. I told you the risks. I told you what was going to happen, doctor. And now when it's happening, you fucking bail on me. It all seems so deliberate. I've told you the medications I need, and aside from what was happening in here, all the other symptoms would disappear. Like magic. No. So my friend went and said,
Hello? She needs you now.
And pretty much had to drag him back to the treatment room. And he's just like, and it was at that point that he was a little bit like,
Ooh, your heart rate's up a little bit there, Les.
still jokey though, but you could see there was a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
He did not want to be there, and he was holding onto my wrist trying to take my pulse, and I grabbed his arm and I went,
You're fine. It's okay. You're fine. So give her more Benadryl. She'll be fine.
I need prednisone.
No, Leslie, you don't need prednisone.
Standard protocol. Any hospital, anywhere in the world. It felt like this was on purpose. There was a reason for all of this to be happening. Didn't see the pharmacist. First time in history. He's not giving me the meds I need to live. He's laughing. He's running away and hiding. Not answering his phone. Hanging up on the nurse when she's begging for help. I said, what the fuck is going on? What is happening? I've never seen staff look that horrified. I didn't think I was going to live. And if I did live, I was horrified at the thought that I was going to, I thought I had a stroke. That my body went numb. Like my feet went numb, my hand, left side mostly, but then everything started going numb. I can't feel my hands. Oh my God. Stroke? Very common in anaphylaxis, by the way. Stroke, heart attack, and my poor heart was just... Did they think maybe they should have brought in the trauma unit, sent me to ICU, where they had the training and the equipment to deal with this? No. And I know why now. So gradually, after all of the Benadryl and time wore off later, 4 hours of sheer frigging hell, he comes back in.
Hi, how you doing? Oh, you look better now. You had me a little bit worried there for a second, Leslie, but I knew you'd come through. I told you you'd be fine.
We're not there. We're not at that stage where we're going to be joking about this.
And he said, you know what? You were right. You're always right, Leslie. I can't believe you. You're always right. You know everything. I should have listened to you. Hello!
Wow. Yeah. You might want to try that on sometime. Listen to the patient. Wow. I guess they don't teach you that in medical school. The cavalier attitude was punch-worthy. Then he said something really interesting.
I don't think we're going to have you go ahead and do this at home.
Really? Why not? It was so much fun.
He said that. I really think that we should do this again. Maybe we'll cut the dose down a little bit, but I think this could be really good for you.
Did you happen to catch any of this? Oh, no, sorry. You were too busy running away. You didn't catch any of this, you fucking idiot. So no. And he said...
It wasn't that serious, Leslie.
I said, you weren't here. You didn't see what everyone else saw. And everyone was just looking up. What are you talking about?
Your life was never in danger, Leslie. You were fine.
Right.
So, let's give you a couple of weeks, calm down, rest a little bit, and let's revisit this. And, in a couple of weeks we should start this again. You should get going now.
And I'm like, going where?
You're done. You can go home now.
I see. You're not going to keep me for observation.
No, you're fine. Get your clothes on and get out of here.
And the nurses just went, and I'm like, everyone is just like, you're sending me home now? No. Pretty good idea why that was as well. I said, send me for some tests, a CAT scan.
You're fine. She killed me.
Laughing, joking once more. Ha, really funny. So let me get this straight. Every other doctor in the world would be giving me a script for prednisone and putting me on probably like 50 milligrams a day for at least a week to make sure I don't relapse. And I have relapsed on prednisone, and you don't think that's necessary. Okay, yeah, that's normal. Okay, good. I said, can you at least write a little letter, something, so I can give it to them from you?
No. I'm not writing a letter, Leslie. Call 911 and go to the ER. You'll be fine.
Oh, we're getting cranky now, are we? Really? And that was that. Off he went. He didn't want me going to the ER because questions would be asked. That medication didn't go through the pharmacy. Clearly, they didn't know who I was. They didn't have any record of me being there. This was probably done on down, and it didn't go well. And if I died, much better to have me at home. That's my take on it, because I don't know what else to think. Why would you not keep a patient at least another 6 hours overnight? I would have assumed at least overnight, but he wanted me out of there ASAP. And I was not good. I was wheeled out of there in a wheelchair. I couldn't even walk. And it was some pretty bad nights. And the scary part was that I had no intention of going to the ER. I would not have gone to the ER, especially at that hospital, because I was terrified. I went through something that day that was so traumatic. But there was one thing that I had faith in, because I knew things were going to get crazy. If I go into anaphylactic shock, every single doctor or nurse on the planet will know what to do. I don't believe that anymore. I'm so glad that I had 2 witnesses. I mean, I had more than that, but I'm sure they can't say anything. After he left, my nurse was just like,
I can't believe he's sending you home.
She was blown away. I said to her, have you ever seen anything like this before? She was like,
No, never. Oh my God, I'm not equipped for this. You should have been in the trauma unit or in the ICU. I'm not equipped. I'm not trained. I had no clue what to do. I was not briefed.
She was furious. And she looked at me and she said,
You saved your life today. I couldn't. I didn't know what to do. If you hadn't known what to do, you would not be living right now.
And the other nurse came and she said, I can't believe that you're alive. She was a very timid. She was,
I'm so happy you're alive. I didn't think you were gonna. Oh my God, I thought you were gonna die.
Nobody thought I was gonna make it. So I'm still actually having some issues tonight. That's kind of what I want to talk about, is what's happening now, or since then.
I'm on the kitchen floor. Everything was great, and then all of a sudden, blood pressure just dropped, and I started breaking out in a cold sweat, and I started to just really feel like I was losing consciousness. My eyes were just rolling back in their head, and I was like, oh no. And there's moments where I'm like, at what point do I feel like I should call 911? And I hate calling 911.
The chest pain has doubled, quadrupled since then. And when I say chest pain, it's not a little like, ooh, it hurts a little bit. It is agonizing pain where I'm literally crying and sweating, like just cold sweat and nausea. And you, oh my God, I'm going down. This is it. Since I did the chemo, it is happening every week. Sometimes more. And there's the anaphylaxis, and then there's the just general reacting. I was reacting constantly, and I still am reacting a lot. Another issue that I read on the internet about Midostaurin is respiratory issues. I think one of the major causes of death with Midostaurin is respiratory toxicity. So basically people get severe respiratory infections and they die. And then I get hit with a respiratory infection. And I'm like, oh my God, no. My GP and I decided we would try Tamiflu. I caught it within 24 hours and it put me on everything. Because I've lived with this for so long that I just don't get fazed anymore. The things that have been happening to me now, oh my God. nothing like anything I've ever had. My daughter came home. Apparently, the story goes, she found me on the kitchen floor, unresponsive, unconscious. The chair was flipped over, a murder scene basically. First of all, she was sure I was dead because I just wasn't responsive, and then I guess she somehow got me kind of semi-conscious, and she kind of half carried me to the guest room bed here. I have no knowledge of any of this, by the way. None. I didn't do anything differently. And I remember hitting my head. I went into some kind of funky trance where I just went, and hit my head. So I'm still like really sick with this bronchial, whatever the hell it is. Probably pneumonia.
God. I'm still getting over that pneumonia, weird virus thing that I got.
So this tells me that something different has happened in my brain. I think it has something to do with the episode that I had with the chemo. It's been horrible. And I know that I've been getting progressively worse. And I actually try to conceal that as much as possible.
They judge you on what they see, and you look great. How sick can you be? You keep saying you're dying, and what are you doing still here?
I'm now going to try to get up from the floor that I've been laying on for, I don't know how long.
Okay. Ow, 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 ow.
I'm horizontal. I'm vertical.
I've got that weird thing around my eye again. Look at that. Oh my god. Ew. What is that? I'm on my feet, but I'm squatting.
And I want to thank you, whoever y'all might be, helping me get through it. Right, ta-ta for now.